Hi, I'm Robert Macheko, co-founder of the INSEAD AI community and the founder of the Board AI Institute. Last week, I said it might have been the biggest week in AI ever. This week does not necessarily top it, but there was an intense news flow. There wasn't one big announcement, but instead it was the sheer volume of important news. 4 frontier models in a single week. The US Pentagon publicly fighting with a key AI lab. And the clear sign yet that career advancement, possibly your career advancement, very much depends on how you use AI. So let's get into it. First point is the model flood. In a single week, Anthropic, xAI, Google, and Alibaba launched important new AI models. None of them changes the game or is a new generation, but put together, they redefine the price performance frontier. They also show that the new baseline are new models basically weekly instead of quarterly or yearly. We have accelerated. Depending on which is your favorite model, you might order these differently. For many, the most important model drop this week was Anthropic's Sonnet 4.6. It delivers performance near Anthropic's best model, Opus, but at a lower price. That means that some of the agents that you wanted to run in January, you can do now much more economically. xAI dropped Grok 4.20. The name is not by accident. It's a wink to cannabis culture by Elon Musk. It's also Grok's first multi-agent model. 4 agents collaborate on each query to try to get a better result. One thing that Elon Musk encouraged in this launch was the uploading of X-rays and MRIs to get a second opinion. So do that if you must. Doctors have criticized Grok for leading to misdiagnoses, and there's no clinical findings supporting this functionality. It's a consumer AI functionality with no guardrails. Google came out with an important model, Gemini 3.1 Pro. If you're a Gemini user, you might appreciate the higher reasoning ability. Most, though, will find that it's an incremental model, not a game changer. A bigger Google story may be its Pumley photo shoot app. It's a free tool that turns a smartphone upload of a product photo into a professional photo shoot. Many professional photographers in the world have noted a decline in bookings due to AI. This probably will not help. Alibaba released Gwen 3.5. It's an efficient open weight model that only uses parts of its parameters to come up with results. It therefore costs about 60% less to run. It's a very strong indicator that the China-US race for AI dominance is far from over. And we haven't heard from DeepSeek yet. Their new model is highly anticipated. So let's see. Point 2, India just hosted the first Global South AI Summit. And don't be distracted by some of the headlines that you've seen. 300,000 attended the summit, including 20 heads of state and many of the top AI CEOs, Pichai, Altman, Almode, Hassabis. The investment numbers we heard in New Delhi were impressive. 200 billion in new compute infrastructure, 100 billion in new renewable data centers by 2035. But the main point that you should remember is that India is the largest market for AI in the world by number of consumers, about 1 billion possible users right now. ChatGPT already has something like 100 million users in India. That makes it their second biggest market. Thing is, the business model from the West of $20 per month subscriptions is not going to work on a broad scale in India. Different models are needed with free tiers, ad-supported models, on-device inference, compute subsidized by the government. The paradox is that there are many CEOs of Indian descent in the United States leading multi-trillion-dollar tech companies. Alphabet, Microsoft, IBM, yet India has no homegrown frontier models. So the biggest country in the world risks being an AI consumer and service provider, not the driver of the AI itself. I certainly would not count India out of the AI race. This summit had some hiccups, Wi-Fi issues, a university team trying to pass off a Chinese robot dog as a local one. The most important moment of the summit certainly wasn't when Sam Altman and Dario Amodei didn't hold hands in a photo with Prime Minister Modi. Bill Gates canceling his keynote also is not the main point. The main point was that this was the first move of the global South to shape the AI era. Stay tuned. Point 3, and this is a doozy, Accenture. AI adoption is now a career requirement. Accenture has about 780,000 people. And this week, it told its senior leaders that if they want to get promoted, they better be using AI. They're tracking AI usage and will use that in their performance reviews. Other professional service providers like KPMG and McKinsey are also looking for AI skills in recruits and ahead of any promotions. So if you want to get promoted, if you want to get hired, if you want to get a good review, you have to show that you're adopting AI in your work. If you're a knowledge worker, AI fluency is no longer optional. Point 4, Chinese robots. Oh my. Chinese robotics startups stole the show of the Lunar New Year Gala. If you haven't watched the gala, that's the world's biggest TV show, about 700 million viewers. And these robots were quite amazing, with sword fights, drunken boxing, and amazing backflips. Don't try that at home. Compared to the show last year, the progress is stunning. So one of the lead players, Unitree, plans to ship 20,000 units this year at a price of $16,000. The American company Boston Dynamics just started production of its Atlas robots for Hyundai, but at a price of roughly $150,000. Tesla is using Optimus robots internally, but they haven't shipped to consumers yet. China, at the moment, controls most of the humanoid robot market, roughly 85-90%. And the question is, will others be able to compete, especially on price? Point 5, the Pentagon is publicly attacking one of the most important US AI labs. Anthropic said no to some of the Department of War demands. And now the Department of War is thinking of canceling its $200 million project with Anthropic, and even potentially labeling it a supply chain risk, a label that has been used for adversaries so far, like Huawei. Why? Anthropic doesn't want Claude used in mass surveillance or autonomous weapons. OpenAI, Google, and xAI have allowed some use of their AI by the Department of War. The Pentagon is thinking of going so far as to require suppliers to say they're not using Anthropic at all and to certify that. That would be systematic. Just a few years ago, Silicon Valley was very hesitant about working with the military. As we're seeing now, it's very difficult for them to thrive without doing so. Those were the top 5 stories of the last week. Core frontier models, a billion-person AI market forcing companies to rethink their business models to serve that market. The company that said no to the government at the risk of being declared an enemy of the state. Things are moving quickly. If you lead people, run a business, sit on a board, or are building a career, it's really time to pay attention. I'm Robert Macheco. Check out the rest of the AI news you missed. There's a lot, and I'd say it's required reading.